Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are cooking soy chicken wings. Here's what we need. Now, this is supposed to be a starter, which means not so much food. However, I looked at it and I thought 250 grams of chicken wings is not much. So what I've ended up doing is timesing it by 4. So everything on here. So I've got a kilo of chicken wings, a litre of water instead of 250 mils of water, and I've just basically timesed everything by 4 so that it will do more. And I am serving it with a range of vegetables, Chinese vegetables, which I am going to do in the wok, with a little bit of sesame oil and keycap manis, because I looked in the fridge and I thought, let's start and use some things up. And I'm trying to make things into meals and use veggies. So I thought, okay, Chinese dish, go get some Chinese vegetables, which I could get from work, which was great. So I'm doing a little bit of a stir fry with it. Anyway, come on in. I'm going to show you what we've got. Now, we will need a large saucepan that will hold a litre of water and a kilo of chicken wings. And you will also need, if you're doing the veggies on the side, you'll need a wok. If you don't want to do the veggies on the side and you just want to do noodles or rice, then you won't need the wok. You can just cook that however you want it. So entirely up to you how you do that. You might also just decide that you want to do the chicken wings on their own. And anyway, follow my my plan here. So if you don't want to do a kilo, you'll do a half a kilo. And from my ingredient sheet, you'll just double the ingredients. So the good thing with some recipes is you can adapt them so that you can double batch cook, which means you will cook double the batch, or you can halve it so that you can cook half a batch. Depends on what you want to do. Anyway, so we're also going to need a stirring stick for when we do the veggie stir fry, which I'll talk you through the veggies for that in a minute. We won't need anything really for the chicken because we're putting that into a liquid. So we're actually poaching the chicken wings. Now, most people think chicken wings go in the oven, or obviously on the barbecue. You can do them, but no. Another way that Chinese will actually cook their chicken is they will poach it. So the reason why it's called soy chicken wings is because we're actually poaching it in a lot of soy sauce. So we've got, what did I say? 1.184 kilos of chicken wings. I ended up picking those up at the supermarket because originally I thought, I'm not going to get my butcher to deliver me 250 grams of chicken wings. And then I thought, well, no, I want a kilo. So I got those on my way home, so it was easier. We also will use a litre of water. 1 tablespoon of sliced spring onion is 4 tablespoons of sliced spring onion. That's just your shallots. Now I've grabbed that out of the freezer, and I've just cut those up with the scissors. 2.5 centimetre fresh ginger cut into 4 slices. I just grabbed a chunk of ginger and I've just used all of it. So don't cut it up small because you want that to infuse into the water. 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce is actually 8 tablespoons. Now, it's not just one soy sauce. So this one's light soy sauce. I have had this one for a while. And then we have also got dark soy sauce, which I just picked up from Coles the other day. And the dark soy sauce, we are using not half a teaspoon, but 2 teaspoons, which is times 4. Star anise, which is a spice. It's the one that looks like It's the coolest looking thing. I've got one that's not broken. I'm trying not to break it. They are the coolest little thing ever. So we're using 4 of those. Well, I've got 3 and some bits. And then a teaspoon of white sugar, which is actually 4 teaspoons of white sugar. So that's in there. I very rarely use white sugar. I prefer raw sugar in my coffee and my tea. Anyway, that's a me thing. For my side dish of veggies, I have got a green capsicum, Chinese broccoli, which is choy some baby bok choy, sorry, which is that one. I've had that in the fridge for a few days. I can't remember what day it is, I'm sorry. And I got some cute little baby corn because I love little corn. All right, so let's dive straight into it. So first step is to actually wash and dry the chicken wings, and then we're going to pop them into a saucepan. So let's go with that. So the best way to wash the chicken would actually be to put it in the colander. So I brought these a couple of days ago, and then I put them in the freezer because you've got to be very careful with chicken. Chicken is the one meat and seafood, I suppose, that you've really got to be careful with. If you don't cook it right, you're going to end up sick. So that's why I say, if you're not using it the day you buy it, put it in the freezer. So I didn't even bother to ask what 250 grams of chicken wings was, but I just had this image in my head of having 2 chicken wings, and that's not much. It's probably like a few more than that, but anyway. So I asked the lady there for a kilo, and it came up a bit more, and I said, no, do the extra one or whatever, it's fine. She was going to put it back for me. All right. So there's a fairly substantial bit there, which is good, because whatever I don't use, I'm actually going to freeze so I can use it later. So I'm just going to wash these, and then we're going to pat them dry with the paper towel. So in the saucepan, we are going to bring the water to the boil, which is the 1 litre. So let's go do that. I just can't get over the fact that they want you to wash the chicken and then dry it and then put it back into water. So you know I'm not going to actually do that step, because in my mind that's just weird and a waste of time. So I will let them drip dry. Well, we bring the litre of water to the boil, and then we are going to add the chicken, the spring onion, which is the shallots, and the ginger, and then bring back to the boil. So I will be back. Our water's nearly coming to the boil, as you can see from the steam. I've just cut up the green capsicum. I've decided to do it into strips, and I've just put the little baby corns into water to make sure they're fully washed through. And I'm just cutting up the rest of the veggies while that's coming back up to the boil. Okay, so now it's coming back to the boil where we're not drying the chicken wings. They've just been draining, so we're going to pop these in. The lid is going to go on and they are going to bubble away. So I'm just going to count them as I go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 10's good. So, yeah. See, that makes it a bit more of a substantial meal idea. All right. Also, we are going to add our ginger, which, as I said, don't finely chop your ginger. We're going to put that on the top. And it didn't say to peel it, so that doesn't have to be done. And then our little shallots, which have been in the freezer. So what I do is if I buy a bunch of shallots and I don't use them all, I will actually put them in the freezer. And then for dishes like this, where I'm cooking it anyway, I don't need it fresh, I don't need to worry about going and buying a bunch to get one. So it works good. What we're going to do now is pop a lid on it, and we're going to let those bubble away. Once it comes back up to the boil, I should say, we're going to let it bubble away for half an hour. That was my bad. We're not going to bring it back to the boil and then leave the other ingredients out. We are going to be putting the other ingredients in. So we can actually start and add these now. So we have the light soy sauce. We have the dark soy sauce. We have the white sugar. So it's always white sugar unless it specifies a different sugar. And then it's our star anise. All right, once that comes up to the boil, then we're going to put the lid on and boil for half an hour. There you go, read your recipe. Or listen to me the third time. Now we do want to try and get them to go into their bathtub. They look like they're trying to have a spa bath. Too funny. All right, so try and put their tips down, even though once they start to boil, they will be fine. Just try and get your ginger and all your, not so much the soy, but the sugar and that, into the liquid. And the anise. All right. Here we go. Can't really stir it. And I've got the great big stock pots, but at the end of the day, a litre of water is a litre of water, and a kilo of chicken wings are a kilo of chicken wings. It doesn't matter whether you've got a wider pot or a higher pot. They're still going to be the same way. And they should cook in half an hour because they're being poached. All right. They're nearly at the boil. We want them really bubbling away so that we can make sure that we give them the full amount. And you probably can turn them down, but I would just maybe keep an eye on them because the idea is that most of the liquid, I guess, should poach away. We don't keep the liquid. Okay, that's definitely boiling now. As you can see, it's really bubbling up. So pop your timer on for 30 minutes. We're going to put the lid on, but make sure that it's got a little bit of breathing room. So what I like to do is just put it to the side. Turn it down to a simmer, which I would probably go to about 4. And when it's got about 15 minutes left, that's when I would start to cook your side dish. So whether it be noodles or rice or the veggies like I'm doing. But I will be back soon so we can cook our veggies. So I just had a little bit of a sticky beak at the chicken wings and a poke and a prod, and they are actually starting to look like they're going to lose the meat off the bone, which is a bit randomly weird, but I guess that means at least they're cooking. So we're going to get started on the veggies. So I always like to spray my cooking pans and whatevers. We're not going to measure the sesame oil. We're just going to put a glug in. So let's get this one going. So I'm just going to pop some sesame oil in. That way I can keep my olive oil a little bit longer. And we're just going to get that nice and hot, and then we will get our veggies in. So I've got Chinese broccoli, choy sum, which I've just had soaking in water. Bok choy, baby bok choy, also the same thing, soaking in water. Just going to put these straight in now. Now they will wilt down to nothing, as you can see. Now with the capsicum, I don't mind if mine's not super crunchy. Oh, sorry. Let's start again. Super cooked, because I don't mind that raw. So I've cut mine into big bits. Now if you want to add extra colour, you can do different capsicum. Or you could do different veggies as well. But for me, it was more just about making sure that I got some veggies. And then our little baby corns, which these will need to cook through a little bit longer. I'll just pop these in as well. And then once this is all nearly done, we'll add the keycap manis, and then that should be nearly ready to go. Yum. Okay, now our Asian greens have wilted. We're going to chuck some keycap manis over the top. I'm not measuring, I'm just guessing. In it goes. Okay, our buzzer's gone off, so our chicken should be done. So let's get ready to dish up. So what I've done is I've put the veggies only on 2 plates. I won't freeze the veggies. And with this, we're going to lift the chicken wings out. As you can see, one of the bones is coming through in that one, so it's definitely got to be done. And there'll be a nice light browny colour, obviously taking on the soy. So I'm going to pop 2 on a plate. Take 2 onto this plate over here. And then I'm going to be freezing some. Now with the liquid, I'm going to chill it or cool it, and then I'm going to put it on the garden. It's got ginger in it, so it may do it some good. I've got an extra 2, so what I think I'll do, just have a few extra. Alright, thank you for watching. See, they're just falling apart, which is great. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been soy chicken wings. I hope you enjoy this one. Feel free to do this as a small dish, which is about 1/4 of what I've done here. Half size, which is half of what I've done, or this full size, which is a lot more. I'll catch you on the next one.